Hi, this is Kim from TechMag Social. I'm here with Elaine of the Wild Pigments Art Studio. Elaine teaches art classes and she has a number of wonderful services for all ages, from preschoolers up until, I don't know, octogenarians, I suppose.
Until you die.
And you have you have classes for children, for teens, and for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the adult thing. I am kind of hopeless at art. What can you offer someone like me?
Most people think that art is reserved for the talented few, and it's not. Everyone can learn how to do art. And there's so many different styles and there's so many options for you. And what I do with people, and actually I love people who have no experience in art and want to try, because I find that very exciting to do. So you can come into the studio and I will, first thing I do is I actually get people like yourself who that feel I don't have any experience, is we actually scribble. We actually go way back to childhood and we just have fun with scribbling. It helps loosen people up and just enjoy it and have fun and play with some colors. And then I'll go into some drawing techniques. And I have all kinds of little exercises that I do with people that forces you to look. Because the biggest problem that people have with art is that they don't know how to look at something and draw what they see. They draw what they think they see. And I teach you how to look and draw what you actually see, what's actually there. And I also teach perspective drawing. I do a lot of drawing because I think drawing is a good base for all art. And if you learn how to draw accurately, you can apply that to every style of art.
Why is it, do you think, that we don't look properly, we don't see properly?
We don't see that way normally. When we walk through a space, if we were to pick up every little detail and notice everything around us, it's too much information and it's too stressful. So naturally we edit things out. And so when you're doing some art, when you're drawing a still life or you're doing a painting, you need to actually bring those things back in. And so it's a different way of thinking. It uses a different part of the brain, and it uses the same part of the brain as we use math. And there's a big connection between math and art, which is really interesting. And so you actually start to look at things differently, and you start noticing the detail, and you start paying attention to that, because we don't normally do that as we're going through our day.
Yeah. And do you help people discover what kind of medium would be best for them?
Absolutely. I think if you're brand new at art and you're not sure what you want to do, I think try a little bit of everything.
That'd be me.
Yeah. I always start off with some basic drawing skills. And then we can move into some watercolor or some oil painting or acrylic or abstracts. And I think if you're not sure where you want to be, try a little bit of everything. And with my art classes, I mean, I do have classes that are set up for like just watercolor. But I find most people, they get intrigued with other things, and so why not try something else?
Sure.
And mixed media is the best. It's fun because you can do a little bit of everything. Often we'll start off with like a watercolor, then we'll throw some pastels in there, put some ink, and we end up with, you know, evolving a beautiful piece of art that's a mixture of everything.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Do you find that people experience a change after they've discovered how to create?
Yes, absolutely. One thing that people always tell me all the time is how relaxed they feel after they've had an art session.
Nice.
When you get into art and you get really involved, it's a great stress reliever. When you get involved, the rest of the world disappears and you get really focused, and it kind of takes you someplace else. And I have people who come to a night class, adults, and they've been working all day, and they got a government job and whatever, and they've got all the stress, and they think, what am I doing going to an art class because I don't have time for this. They come and they do a few hours of art, and they are relaxed, and they think, how could I not do this? How could I not keep this in my life, because it's such a great stress reducer.
And you've got a great thing to take home with you too, and you can point to it and say, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Absolutely.
And that's marvelous.
It feeds the soul. It really does. Art feeds the soul.
It does. I agree with you. But I have to learn to get there myself. But you know, I have a little girl who's just marvelous at drawing. and she loves art. She's one of these compulsive drawers. What can you offer a child who likes to do art?
We have workshops and weekly classes for kids, actually for adults as well, but for kids, what I do is I put a lot of emphasis on drawing.
Okay.
So we do a drawing project, and I don't just show them something, go draw this. It's a true lesson. I have up on the wall a colored finished drawing, I have a black and white line drawing so they can see clearly, and I have a blank sheet of paper. And I draw with them, and I show them what to look for. How notice that this line curves and it ends here, and it lines up with this, and it's this long, and they have to rescale as well because my drawing's much bigger than theirs. So proportions, and I connect the math to it. Proportions and percentages and all that kind of stuff.
Like that.
And angles are all good for math.
Yes.
I mean, all good for art. We do a lot of art drawing, and then we also with the coloring, and I start them off with crayons, and some kids think, oh, crayons is for the little kids.
Yeah, they do.
Crayons are the best way to learn how to shade and to blend your colors. So we're not just coloring book crayoning. We are actually deepening the drawing and adding those shadows and making things pop and make it look 3D. And I show them how to do that. And it's amazing when you show kids how to do it. Their drawings are really extraordinary.
My daughter would love this. Do you do birthday parties? That's the question all parents ask.
Absolutely. We do birthday parties. We also I do a craft day once a month. So it's a lot of fun. You have to book way ahead because they fill up every month. What we do is we have a day where you come in and it's a real cut and paste, and we make a great mess, and the parents don't have to clean it up, which is a great
bonus. Bonus. I like that. I like that.
Absolutely. And I get student volunteers, high school volunteers, to come in and help out with the kids, so it works out really well. I also do workshops for adults. We do acrylic painting, or we'll do a watercolor workshop or a pastel workshop, but I also do a create your own workshop. So you can actually gather up your girlfriends and have a girls' night out and do, paint together, date night. I do couples things, I do singles events. So I'm very creative, and I try to do all kinds of ways that, you can come and you can have a little bit of art in your life.
You've got art for everybody.
Art for everyone.
There's just one thing that I would like to touch on, which is you said about student volunteers.
Right.
I understand that you have some things that cater specifically to teens to help them with their high school volunteer credits, or I'm not sure how it works in the high schools now, Frank.
Right.
And developing a portfolio.
Yes, there's a lot of teens that, the grade 7s and 8s that are getting ready for, an art program for high school. I help them develop their portfolio, and we follow the requirements to the letter.
Okay.
And I also help, I have high school kids that are going on to university and need to develop a portfolio.
Wow.
And so, we do that. I do private lessons for that if they want, or we can do a group lesson.
That sounds great, because it sounds like you've got something for everybody.
Really, there is. And the other group of people that we haven't mentioned yet is seniors. Seniors, this is such a great brain exercise. Doing art, and I think it's really important for seniors to keep their brain active, and it uses a different part of the brain that we normally use, so it's great to come in and be creative, and it gives them a way to, a creative outlet. It gives them something to do that's very enjoyable and relaxing, and so that's another group of people that I really enjoy having as a studio.
That's great. We're going to be having more seniors in our population now, so more activities for them is just fabulous. It sounds like I said, you've got something for everyone, and that's wonderful. You got something for a noob like me and a little artist like my daughter and these teenagers and seniors. That's great. Now, you're at the Wild Pigments Art Studio, and contact information will be up on our site at TechMag Social. We'll have a nice feature page there for Elaine Comeau. And so you will have all the information that you need to contact Elaine. She's got a wonderful, wonderful website that's easy to find information, and all the classes and everything are up to date. I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, well, that's great. Thank you very much.
Anyway, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank
meet you,
you.
Kim. Okay.